Hello everyone, happy Sunday to you. Well, that's if you're watching on a Sunday. I've got two lovely starts for the books to show you today. I've just started the Blackbird, and I've also got a book covers to show you for the flower book. That what I'm doing is a flower book. And I just wanted to say that the techniques are interchangeable. You definitely can do anything with the bonded fabric for the stitching book. You can take the techniques from the bonded fabric and use them in there just the same. In fact, I might do that just to show you that it is absolutely interchangeable. And you can definitely embroider on the bonded fabric too. And I'll be showing you that in the next little segment coming up. So I hope you enjoy what you see, and definitely let me know if something I can improve, because I'm just not used to filming myself sewing and I couldn't decide whether I was still in the frame or not. Anyway, enjoy what's coming next. Thank you. I've chosen the bit of fabric that I would like to have the back and the front made from, and what I've done, I've drawn a line about 1 inch wide all the way around, and you need about 1 inch in the middle for the spine. Can be a little bit less than that probably, but it's a sort of a good rule of thumb. So I've drawn a line right the way around. I'm going to cut that out now. Okay, so now we've got the back and the front of our book, which is going to be something like that eventually. Now we could just make it like that, that's no problem, but actually I think I'd quite like to do some embroidery on this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the paper off now. You don't need that anymore, and I'm just going to work out whether I'm going to have that for the front like that or the other way around. I've got a feeling it might be that way around actually. I think I would like this bit for the front. So I'm just going to look at how far it's going to go. I know I can see where my front of my cardboard is. So I'm just going to do some embroidery on here now. I've got my threads. I've got quite a nice variegated stranded thread there. It's not a 6 strand. It's got a slightly different texture to it. But it is pretty and I like it. I'm actually going to I'm going to just try and think how far my paper's going to be. I'm just going to start just a bit outside of that. And I think for the beginning I'm just going to do some running stitched lines, and I'm not particularly going to make them straight. You'll find that you can really embroider quite nicely on this fabric that's got the bonder web on the back. It stays nice and stable, and it's easy to stitch on. And I'm just going to, because my book's going to be about flowers, I'm just going to make maybe meadowy flowers, or I don't know, not quite sure yet, just see how I go. I'm just going to do some nice stitched lines up and down. Don't even have to go all the way up, I don't think. Just do here, come back down again. I'd like to know what themes some of you are doing for your books, if you're making one like this, or what you decided to do. I want to cross this one over, I think. Let it come back down, and then you can see the joy of the different colours as they mix and match. I haven't drawn anything on, I'm just trying to be a bit free. It's got to be enjoyable in the end, hasn't it? Shouldn't be getting too stressed about it. In fact, embroidery and we never used to hear anything called slow stitching. I still call it embroidery. It's an enjoyable thing. It shouldn't be stressful. The more relaxed you are, the better you're going to enjoy what you're doing. And there shouldn't be any pressure to do an amount at a time or achieve a certain amount. You should just do however much you want to at the time and enjoy it. I'm just going to pick that up. I'm doing bigger stitches or little stitches. I'm not really bothered actually, just let the stitch meander where it wants. But already it's looking quite nice. The colours of the ink tints on here are really pretty. I like the washed out colour of it. Of course I could have done it. I could have made it stronger, but that wasn't really what I wanted to achieve from it. This is looking quite nice at the minute. I think I'll make that a little branch off there because I haven't got much on my thread left, so I'll just join this one up, I think. I'll join it up to that one. Okay. And on the back I'm just going to knot it off. If I can, if I've left myself enough, just hold it down. It'll do fine. Leave a tiny bit of a tail. Oh, I haven't got my thread jar. I better put them just there. I'll use this other bit, a little bit, and I'll just check how big my piece is again. So I want to come up to about here probably. So I'm getting some nice. So I'll start there so that I know that's as far along as I want to go. I'll finish this bit off and come back to you. I finished my stitching. I've just got really nice stems going around, and I have this little old lace colour which has got the flowers and leaves on it. So I've cut 3 little sets of leaves out, and what I'm doing, I'm just getting my ink tints and I'm just colouring them in on the top of a bit of spare fabric because I don't want the colour to go through onto this one. So I'm just using the spare cotton that I've already got Bondo Web on and just doing them on top of it, just so it'll soak up the rest of the colour. Because I don't really want them to be white, and I'm not trying to make a particular flower at the moment. I just want a sense of maybe like a pretty meadow or something like that. So a bit more abstract. You can see I'm just dabbing this. I just want this lace to soak up some of the colour. But I am just going to put it straight on. It won't be enough to do any bother. So there I've got 3 little pieces of green leaf. They're just going to go straight on. I'm just going to arrange them wherever I think, like that. There, that's quite okay. I'm going to use the same thread and I'm going to stitch them on, and at the same time I've got this purple that I used on the raven. I've got bits of it here. I'm just going to squish it up and cut bits off, and I'm not even bothering whether they're round or square, or I'm just cutting pieces, sort of crushing it up, cutting bits off. So I quite like this purple a lot. Don't know what I'll do when I've got none left. This is the lace that I dyed for the raven with the ink tints, and again it's got quite a nice green, a bit more turquoise. I'm just going to cut pieces, just random bits, not really looking for anything like that. Maybe I'll have a bit off the purple end. I don't think I want any white flowers. I did get some things out, but I don't actually think I'm going to want that. So I'm going to thread my needle and start and put these on. Okay, I'm just going to, I think I'm just going to put little pieces of the other green behind and just start in with my thread and just stitch on as I can. Without trying too hard, but I do want it all stitched on. I'm just going to make sure that's underneath and then stitch onto here, just so things are caught. You can do straight stitches that look like new leaves. When these are all stitched on, I will then be able to make my book cover. You see, I'm just catching pieces down. I don't want it to be too loose, but neither do I want it to be like a proper embroidery either. I'm on to my second piece now. I'm just going to put a bit of that underneath. I quite like the way it looks. Take a bit of vegetation and just let the stitches, let the fabric decide where you want to be going with it. And you can see the picture starting to pull together. As I say, this is just the front. I think I want to do more plant portrait things once I'm on the inside pages, but I thought this would be nice just to be a bit more free on the front. Okay, I think we'll call that done for leaves. And now I'm going to put, just move them, I'm going to put some of these purple bits in, as if they're flowers. I'll put a bit of the lace. Whilst I was looking for some other fabric to make flowers, I've actually found this in my drawer, which I'd forgotten I had. And it's just a little leafy trim, but I think it's going to look really nice. And it's fabric, so I'm going to just cut a couple of pieces to go in, because I think that's really nice. And I'll just couch it down. I think I can maybe have one piece there and one piece there, so I'll try that. And maybe one there going up and one here. Oh, I think that looks quite nice. And I'm going to put the flowers on the stems. I'll start doing it from the bottom up. Start at the bottom, and I'm just going to couch over the top. Actually, I think I'll go into it because I don't want it to come loose at all. And considering it is fabric, I can go into it so that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go right down through the middle of the stem as a way of holding it down. And as I come up, I will give it a little flower at the same time. It's holding on really nicely. I'll turn it round in a second. I didn't quite know how to set the camera up, so it was behind me. I'll have to practice that. So at the moment, I'm afraid you're on upside down to where I am. Okay, we're going to have a nice big one. So I'm going to just take one of these pieces of purple and I'm just going to gather it up in my hand and just put the needle through so it stays a bit gathered up. And as I go down through there, am I on it? Yes, I am. Go down through there, it'll make a flower. Oh yes, I like that. And then we'll put another one straight up, straight in, as if they're coming out of the leaf intersections, which is exactly what they would do. Folding up the little piece of purple, needle through the fold and straight down into that stem. I'm quite happy I found that now. I'd forgotten about it. I'll go up again, little piece. And here's another piece, folded up, in through the folds, down through the stem. And it's really starting to take shape. Carry on doing this one. I'll give it a bit of a curve, I think. As I come up there, leave a little bit of a gap this time. I'm not chatting much now because I'm concentrating on getting things nice. Plus, I get in the zone. And then, when I was little, it would mean my mum would be shouting of me and I wouldn't even hear her because I'd be engrossed in a book or some sewing. At that time, probably sewing dolls' clothes or whatever. It amounted to the same thing. Just getting into your own zone and your brain just ends up being concentrating on what you're doing, and it's really nice. It means that your brain can just relax into it. And go on just a little bit there. They don't even have to be a round shape. Look, that's just a scrap. I'm just gonna gather it up, come up where I want it to go, and put my needle through and pull it back down. It's looking very nice. I'm going to carry on till I've finished this now. So I've finished the front. I'm really pleased with the way it looks. It's not too much. I haven't left room for a title or anything, but that doesn't matter. It's just a flower book for myself. So, see the stitching on the back? It's fine. I've got the Bonder web on the back. So now it's time to turn this into a book cover. I'm going to get my iron out and that's what's next. I'm going to glue a bit of felt onto the front of each of these bits of cardboard just to give a bit of padding, and I'm just going to do it with a glue stick. Okay, so now we come to set up for the cover. So I know that I want to just do it that way on for the moment. So I need to be covering my embroidery. I need the bit for the spine, so I'll just move up. The bit for the spine and the bit to go over the edges. So I think what I'm going to do first, I'm just going to hold them there. I'm going to flip everything over. and I'm going to iron that on there now, which will make it stick to the cardboard. And I'm not going to bother about any of this getting flattened, it doesn't really matter. So I'll iron that first, and you'll see it'll just go beautifully onto the cardboard. Oh, I've done that the wrong side. Oh no, I haven't, that's right, exactly. And I'm going to flip it back over again. And now I'm going to miter the corners and just get it as neat as I can. So I'm going to take the corners in first, like that, and just iron it onto the card. And that one. Sometimes it takes a little bit of working to get it really neat. And that one. Take them in nice and square. You've got the best chance of getting a neat edge. Remember, you don't want to be putting your iron onto the glue because you don't want to ruin the bottom of your iron. And now I'm going to turn these edges up and iron them onto there and make as neat a corner as I can possibly do. And holding it all in, making those corners nice. Just giving it a minute to glue on. And just move that in there a bit, and I'll get this side over nicely. Could have worked on it a little bit better maybe. It'll be fine. And just hold my iron on a little minute. I'm going to turn it round, do the same again. I'm going to get that in like that. Just hold it down while I pull the iron over. Like that. And last one under here. You can fiddle about a bit to get those corners perfect. I'm just going to pull it tight. I want it to be wrinkle free on the front. I'll just get that one nice as well. Okay, and give it a good press. Mind you don't touch your iron on this bit here. Good press, I'll turn it around. It's a good press. Now you'll see that you have a book cover waiting for pages. So the thing to do now is you can either have a piece of your cotton that you've painted, bonded, and cut it a little bit smaller than that and bond it over the top, or you can take a nice printed piece of cotton, and I think I'm going to get a little printed piece. I've got this really pretty bit of green sprigged cotton. I've cut my piece of Bondo web just smaller than the book cover, so I'm just going to iron that on now. Make sure I do it on the back. Make sure I do it on the back. Okay, cut the fabric out. Okay, now we bring the book back in, take the paper off. And put that straight on. I'm just going to line it up as nicely as I can. Just need to trim that bit, I haven't cut that very nicely. Okay. and trim that in and iron it on. And this time I am actually going to go down into the spine to get those together, to bond it together. Turn it round, iron that in, and I'm just going to press down into the spine to get both of those fabrics bonded together nicely. Give it a good press. And there you have it. One lovely little book waiting for pages. Actually, what I'm going to do, I've made a little bit. I had that little bit that I did on the tutorial on Sunday. I think what I'll do is I'll put it on the back. So I can just, obviously that had the bonding stuff on the back when I showed you how to paint it in. Just going to take that bit off. And it's just going to go straight on there. So where do I want it? I want it down there, down here, or in the middle. I don't think I wanted to cover all the pink up, so I'm going to put it there. And I'm just going to iron that straight on. Just trim that bit off. Going to put it on there. Make sure you give it a good press, let the heat do its work. And that's the back of my book now. And the front. And the inside. That's what's next if you're doing the cardboard cover book. Get your little book to that stage. Or however you want. You can always put extra things on the back. You can embroider it. You could have left it all like that and put things on afterwards. But I wanted to embroider the front of mine. And so that's what I've done. I hope you've enjoyed that. I've split the video into two parts because I had done this part and also the blackbird part. But when I tried to put them together, they were just too long. So I've split the blackbird off onto another video and they're getting posted separately. So this is going to be part one. Send me a comment, subscribe if you want to carry on seeing what's happening, and I will do my best to answer all your messages, and I'll keep posting little updates on the Instagram as I'm stitching along, so that if there's anything that I think you're missing out on, you'll see little photographs pop up on there. So I'm on to part two, and thank you very much. Thanks for watching. Bye from Marion's World for now.